Let's settle this. Does the Fujifilm X100VI or past generations actually feel like shooting film? And not just in how the photos look, but in the process and how it makes you think about photography. I've been shooting with mainly this film camera. This is my grandpa's. It's a Contax TV-S. I love shooting with this thing, and we'll talk about it more. But ever since I picked this guy up, the feeling's similar. So this guy has been going away, and I've been just going straight to the Fujifilm. So I want to break down today how this gives you the film experience. And this is not a spec comparison. We'll do some side-by-side and look at images from the Contax and a few other, hold that thought. I think we'll also have some shout outs from this Yashica. So these two film cameras will have these images to look at, this Yashica and this Contax. And then of course, we'll look at images from Fujifilm and talk about the film experience. Let's get into it. So one of the best parts of shooting film is being able to choose your film stock. I know my buddies who do it way more than me enjoy, Portra or Ektar or Tri-X, or then finding other different types that seem interesting and just seeing what characteristics they have. So the X100VI brings some of that back with its film simulations. No post-editing needed, though you still can if you shoot both to a RAW file and a JPEG. You pick a film stock in camera, and it shapes the colors and contrasts and tones just like film would. So, of course, it's not real film, but Fuji's colors are baked into the image. And it's kind of like film. The big point here, though, is that you're thinking about your shot before you take it. Instead of tweaking all these raw files and spending all this time in post, what you get is what you got. And what you got is what you took. The main thing is it changes how you shoot, which leads me to my second point. Fixed lenses, slower shooting, forces you to be intentional. Instead of moving, zooming the lens, you're moving and zooming around to get your different compositions. Frankly, I love photography when it's slowed down. When there's no pressure on it, you're just shooting. You see something, you take a shot, and you move on. With film, you only get so many shots per roll, so you don't waste them. With the X100VI and its fixed focal length of 35mm equivalent, it does something similar, especially if you're shooting JPEGs and just firing off JPEGs and you know you're not going to touch that small file. So the baked in film simulation look is what you're going to get. So you don't zoom, you move. You think before you shoot because you don't want to waste the frame. This limitation, I think, is what makes film, and using these type of cameras, I think that's what makes it special. And there are other cameras too. Other cameras that you can treat the same way, treat more like a film camera. But my next point sells this camera a little bit more than some others because of the tactile functions. Manual controls are what can make this thing pretty cool. If you've ever shot film, you know the joy of looking through an optical viewfinder, seeing the real world instead of a digital screen, which I gotta be honest, I use a digital screen 99% of the time. It's just a technology that's neat and you can see it. I'm a loser, how about that? But this keeps it alive because it has a hybrid viewfinder. So you can do either or, but then also my favorite features are all, this is the aperture, here's your shutter speed, here's your ISO, and they all just have great clicks. It's hard to beat. Being able to manually control all your settings rather than going into, which you can of course, but touchscreen, adjust. It's just gotta be my favorite feature. And these clicks are next level. They're tactile and immersive, and it's another piece that just slows you down. Maybe that's the name of this video, is just slow down and shoot. There's something about when you shoot film, this is similar. So actually this is not a fixed focal length because I got this, ready for this guy? What? But this has the similar feeling where you have some clicks of the aperture You do have a zoom. You got your aperture clicks, and it just feels right. This thing is more of a point and shoot where you just kind of go with it. Gotta love that. But there's no screen where you're touching and making adjustments. So is the Fujifilm X100VI a real film camera? No, of course not. Film is a unique experience, but does it capture the spirit of film photography? I think in many ways, yes. The intentionality with the in-camera film simulations and the manual controls, it combines to make the process feel more like film than most any other digital camera I've used. For some people, nothing beats the magic of real film. Ask my buddies Garrett Ware and Jared Collins. They've got YouTube channels, and I think they have a few cool videos on film where you can check out. But for those who want the film-like experience without the cost of non-stop development and setting it off and the wait times and maybe this type of camera is a good alternative. Let me know what you think. I'm excited to chat in the comments. I know this is a subject where there's going to be a lot of opinions. On one of my videos, I made a comment about this flip-out screen and how, wow, I thought it should be a selfie mode, and I got nailed in the comments. So I appreciate the honesty. I'm open to it. Thanks so much for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.